I added a disclaimer to my profile.
You did?
Yeah, I had to.
Why?
Because so many people were sending me messages, and I was just like, God, I cannot, I didn't know how to approach it. So I added to my profile, disclaimer, if we matched recently, you might want to listen to episode 8 of our show. Hi everybody, welcome back to Louder Than Ever. I am Hailey.
I'm Mary.
We are both Gemini Ravenclaws who are kind of sleepy this week and have literally nothing else in common.
Nothing else at all, you guys.
Just the kind of sleepiness. Why are we both so sleepy this week?
I don't know.
We've done nothing different.
That's true. I think I'm just preemptively sleepy because I start my new job next week, and so...
That's right. First day, new job.
First day of a new job. Yoo-hoo.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop. I'm not going to say where it is or what I'm doing, but I do. I think it's going to be good, so I'm excited.
I think it'll be just great.
Me too. Except for the whole working part.
Well, sure.
Yeah, but besides that, it'll be great.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a job I'm going to be good at, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be great.
It will be.
It'll be great. And it's an upcoming first for you.
It is.
It's a first day.
Which is our theme.
Yeah,
today.
we're going to talk about firsts.
Firsts. Because
why not?
Because that's what I thought of. And I just went with my first instinct.
We should count how many times we say first.
We should. You're going to have to do that during editing.
Oh, no.
Whilst I'm sleeping. Just keep a hash marking, you know.
Oh, dear. That's
like the first time I went to South Dakota, I counted how many wall drug signs there were on the way there. On I-90 from Minnesota, we drove there. There were 89.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 before we even reached South Dakota.
You were really committed.
And 83 after. Yes, and I even recorded some of the best sayings on them.
Oh my goodness.
I was really impressed by the free ice water. I thought that was so funny for some reason. Because to me, ice water was always free. I didn't realize that people paid for it. So I thought that was kind of shocking. Cowboy Orchestra. I was really curious to find out what that was. It was like an animated sculpture you could put a quarter in. Yeah, that was a disappointment. Something to crow about. I still don't really get...
Something to crow
That might have been a
about?
Native American reference that they've probably since scrubbed. This was 2002. Save energy, stop at wall drug. Not sure whose energy you were saving.
Oh, wait. Sorry. In Hook. Like Hook, the movie with Robin Williams.
Oh.
They were trying to make Peter Pan crow to prove that he was Peter Pan. So it's like he actually had to sound kind of more like a rooster, actually. Yeah! He had to do that to prove he was Peter Pan. So I think it's like an act of just like making yourself sound like a bird or something.
Crow about? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry.
What a strange aside.
I don't know. It just came to
the
me.
last one on the list, which I thought was the most amusing, was wall drug spells fun. Which clearly it does not. So
wall drug is not very
that was
good
not
at English.
the first time that I was irritated by an advertising slogan. Or the last time. Tinder also spells fun.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Tinder spells Hailey has a ridiculous week of her phone constantly buzzing and being really annoying and finding names show up that I don't even remember you mentioning.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that you did like some secret swiping or something.
Oh, maybe. I kind of feel like well, I might have only said it out loud if I had matched with somebody too as I was going through. But I kind of feel like I talked about everyone, so that's weird.
Well, I have matched with several people since last week.
Well, yeah, I swiped on some people. Well, they were all obviously worthy candidates. So,
right.
Dream date. Let's hear it.
I added a disclaimer to my profile.
You did?
Yeah, I had to.
Why?
Because so many people were sending me messages, and I was just like, God, I cannot, I didn't know how to approach it. So I added to my profile, disclaimer, if we matched recently, you might want to listen to episode 8 of our show. Really? Yes, because I was just like, oh my God, all these guys think I really like them.
Well, that's good. That was the whole point of the thing, and you ruined it. You're horrible at bits. So So I'm guessing you said nothing enticing in reply.
So I matched with several people on here that I don't recall you ever swiping on, but there's like 3 there that never sent me messages. Kevin, Dave, and Eric. But I matched with them.
Kevin, Dave, and Eric.
And then throughout the week, let's see here. This is
so
madness.
Excited.
So...
What about the goat guy? Let's talk about the goat guy first.
Oh, the goat guy, Jack.
He was the title, the titular guy.
So, Jack, you sent him, hey, Jack, how does one go about acquiring a goat for a Tinder photo? It's so cute, and so are you.
He was. I remember. I was more infatuated with the goat. But...
he replied, like, the next day that he just listened to episode 8, so thank you for the listen, Jack.
Thanks. I hope you're listening to episode 9.
And that he wanted to clarify that the first pic in his lineup of pictures was a minnow that he caught while ice fishing.
Oh, well, good for you.
You didn't ask about that first pic, but he felt the need to tell you.
Oh, I was going to say...
Or me, rather.
Well, you, yeah. He was talking to you, clearly.
And as for the goat, doesn't everyone have a goat?
Oh, come on, you're trying to be coy?
To which I replied, I don't, believe it or not. And that was the end of it.
That was the end of it? Let me see. I'm like, show me.
That was the end.
Oh, my God. That's the most disappointing ending ever. Wow, wah, wah.
I'm sorry that
the first disappointment of the night.
Don't have a goat, Jack.
Jeez, Jack.
Really? Sorry.
Supposed to be like, I've got a goat for you in my pants. Or... Clearly,
I was a little disappointed to have not heard from Ran, who, of all of the people that you matched me with, has the strangest name of them all. But he was the one who you sent Hail Satan to. Also, love the hat. He did not like your first message, apparently.
Aww.
And chose not to
He didn't even reply. See, that's a bummer, because that guy, I was all about that for you. I thought that was going to be a great love connection. I'm really disappointed.
Also, Rocky or Reiki, you asked him, where is my cuddly baby panda?
Oh.
Which, first of all, what?
I think it said if you swipe, like, left or whatever, then you'll get a cuddly baby panda. But he didn't reply.
He didn't know.
He didn't have a panda for you.
He didn't have a panda for me.
Not you.
So.
No. Well, it's not me that's getting rejected here. It's you. So it's a lot easier for me to be like, hey, guys.
Thanks.
Because nobody cares.
I'm so glad I let you do this.
It was really fun. We're totally going to do it again. Tinder Takeover 2.
Kevin, you told him that you loved his hair. I didn't, really, but you did.
Oh, well.
To which he said, thanks. I haven't gotten that since I had long hair.
Oh.
And I did not respond.
Why? Because you didn't like his hair.
Well, I didn't like his hair. Also, I think he was a lot more your type than my type, and I think that's why you swiped on him.
Oh, that might be. I wasn't always necessarily being completely altruistic with this exercise.
Oh, Jacob. Jacob was the one who had 75 different kinds of coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently there's a place called Coffee and Tea Limited, and they do lots of different coffees.
Oh.
So he then asked if I was a fan of coffee, and I did not respond.
Would you? You know, he was being nice and replying, and you didn't even tell him that you like coffee too, which you clearly do, because you go to Starbucks way too much.
I do not.
Judgments, yes.
I didn't go today.
Well, I see that. I was wondering.
I don't think I've gone all this week.
Well.
Boom. Mic drop. David. Oh, David, you told him that I'll be your weekday lover, and that his dog was adorable. No, I will not, but his dog is adorable.
I think
he then said it was a family dog, which was disappointing.
It's disappointing and also misleading, because the dog was clearly prominent in several photos.
Yeah.
And if it's not even your dog, that's kind of a lie.
Right.
A little bit. At least a stretching of the truthisms.
Mm-hmm.
A stretching of the truth, at least. A stretching of the truth, at least.
Right.
Okay.
He then asked what the podcast was about, and I also did not respond.
Oh my gosh! Well, he could have.
He was a liar.
He
lied about the dog.
And if he wanted to know what the podcast was about, he could have just kind of found out, because it's on your profile. So if you didn't read it, then.
Oh, this was my absolute favorite.
Okay.
Chris, who you said loved the shower door.
Oh, right, because that photo of him was standing in front of his shower door, and I thought it looked nice.
Yeah, like flexing.
Right.
Like
and
flexing his bicep.
Like, you clearly weren't supposed to see the background because of
taking a picture in the mirror where you can see his phone and everything. Like, it's a great pic.
Right.
And his response was, LOL, what shower door?
Sir.
I did not respond.
If he can't be so cognitive as to realize that there is a shower door in one of his photos, then he's not worth responding to. That's fine.
I actually did start responding to him because I was just like so dumbfounded. I was
like, what do you mean, what shower door?
The one behind you, dingus.
In your photo.
But then I couldn't.
The one in your bathroom selfie.
You've got to be kidding.
Good Tinder choice.
I cannot with you. Jason, to which you sent him, my wits are bits. What does that even mean?
I'm not sure.
My wits are bits?
I would have to read the profile to know.
His profile says, in Cali for the week, looking to meet up, have some fun, etc.
I feel like that was recently updated because I do not think I would have responded to that on your behalf.
Probably not.
No. Listen to last week, episode 8 of Louder Than Ever, to find out where this started. And why it has continued this long. Nope, don't know.
But he said, haha, sorry, just saw this. I like your wits, winky face.
Oh,
you don't know my wits.
He's looking for hookups. That's why he likes
He's
your
in
wits.
Cali looking for hookups.
Yeah, he's definitely incorrect.
Devlin
Devlin
was a late in the week match that you swiped on him.
Okay, all right.
Because I definitely did.
I probably did that just because his name was funny.
Maybe. But Devlin just asked me if I would like to get drinks sometime. I did not respond.
Oh,
First of all, because that was the opening remark. Like, you don't even know me, Devlin. Second of all, I don't drink.
Well, that's how he wants to get to know you.
I don't drink.
I don't care. You can go. That can mean coffee. Drinks can mean coffee.
I mean...
Drinks can mean lunchtime tea. Drinks can mean after work Shirley Temples. It doesn't...
I do like a good Shirley Temple.
Okay, drinks are drinks. And you can tell him, I don't drink alcohol, but I'd love to meet for coffee. Let's do it. Dude, I like him. Straightforward, to the point, not messing around with a bunch of internet bullshit. Just want to meet for drinks.
No.
Well, why not?
I'm not about that life.
Well, then why are we Tindering?
I told you. I do it out of boredom.
I can't even with
then there were
deadpan stare. You missed that. You can't hear that.
Right.
On the silence. Sorry,
it was a thing.
It is a thing, and I was just doing it.
But then there were Trexler and Peter.
Oh yeah.
Peter, we
talked to Peter.
We both interchangeably talked to Peter back and forth after recording last week.
Right.
So that was a long conversation.
That was while we were editing. Yes.
Until he revealed to me that he's a Gryffindor.
And then that was hard stop. Is that it? You never responded?
No, okay, I did.
Okay, I was going to say that'd be kind of rude, but...
I said, oh boy. As in, like, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay.
This isn't good.
And then he said, I am a lion. Roar. I said,
no.
I'm an eagle. Flying away.
You did not.
I did.
You did not.
I did. It's right there.
Aww.
To which he said, flying away already? Aw. On Tuesday, he asked me how Tuesday was.
Oh, well,
that's great. And then on Wednesday, we've finally overcome the hump. And then he said, there's always another hump. What are you going to do with all these humps? To which I did not respond.
Okay, well, that is legitimate because Peter.
Like, it wasn't actually so bad at first, Peter.
But that's a little
I could have potentially overlooked the Gryffindor. Probably not, let's be honest.
Well,
but
I have a Gryffindor child, so I see the merits, but
I
married a Slytherin, so.
I just...
Yeah,
we could have gotten past the Gryffindor.
But not the humps?
No, we're not gonna...
Not going over the humps?
We can't start quoting a Fergie song.
Not in the middle of Harry Potter fandom exchange.
Yeah, no.
Fergie has no business with Harry Potter.
None.
At all.
Literally none.
I can't envision a world where those two collide in a good way.
Oh.
What would Hermione think of my humps?
Oh my god, Hermione would have so many problems. Hermione would form like some sort of organization
with buttons
against Fergie. What house do you think Fergie would be in?
Clearly a Hufflepuff.
Really?
I think so.
You think she would be a Hufflepuff? I think of Hufflepuffs as such, like, sweet and innocent people. That's not Fergie. I feel like Fergie would be a fucking Gryffindor.
We're clearly not on the same page in terms of our interpretations of Fergie's persona. I feel like she's definitely a Hufflepuff.
Really?
Yeah, possibly with a few little Slytherin tendencies put in, but I don't see Gryffindor in her at all.
I don't know. I think it's just because, like, Gryffindors, I feel like, are the opposite of Ravenclaws. And
They're
I
not
feel
the opposite. I would almost say that Slytherins are the opposite of Ravenclaws.
Slytherins are the opposite of Hufflepuffs.
Slytherins are the opposite of Gryffindors, if anything.
No, I disagree.
Okay,
Gryffindors are the opposite. Okay, this
is
is not the Harry Potter episode.
We disagree about Harry Potter.
This is not a Harry Potter episode.
It's not. So
we're not going to do this.
We're not going to do that now, no.
So the other one that I felt a little bad about, I might have screwed this up. Don't look at me in that tone of voice. Oh my god, if you guys could see the look she just gave me.
I told you I'm tired.
Jeez, was Trexler.
Oh, Trexler. I really like your name, Trexler.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad it's good. You know what I mean? It's so, like,
it's different.
80s, like, hipster guy.
I'm like,
well, not hipster guy. What am I thinking of? Like, Trexler's, like, the son of the Wall Street Baron who, like that guy with the greasy hair.
I kind of want to know, like, what the thought process was behind the name. Because it's not a bad name. It's just different. So I feel like I need to know.
Yeah.
Like, what were your parents... Trexler, if you're still listening, you're probably not. But just in case you are, like, I would like to know.
One of them's listening, though. I bet you one of them is listening. So probably. If you're listening, I'm going to vote for Peter. I bet Peter listened. He seemed funny. He had a penchant for comedy that I appreciated. So,
but he brought up Fergie.
I know. But if you're listening, Peter, you can tweet Hailey since I know you followed her. Or vote.
Oh, man.
Vote on our poll or something.
Vote on our poll. Do something.
Do something to let us know you're listening. Okay, so Trexler.
Trexler was nice. He started off with that I have amazing hair.
Which you do.
I do.
Especially in
hair.
Your Tinder photos. You chose ones that really highlighted your hair looks awesome.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We had a pleasant conversation. Pretty much ended when he asked if I was interested in finding out if there was anything more here. And I said... I guess that seems fair. Plus, I guess Mary would kill me if I didn't entertain at least one of her picks.
So you are going to get together.
No.
Aw.
Because she said, it's okay to just say no thanks.
Oh, and then you were like, no thanks?
Because that's how he read what I said. Like, I guess I might as well go out with one of you because Mary will kill me otherwise.
Oh, and then he rated it as an enthusiastic acceptance.
So I kind of felt a little bad, and I tried to save it a little bit, but ultimately...
He wasn't really having any of it and didn't want to waste his time
No, he was pretty nice about it, actually, but, like, there was just...
Okay, now I want to see.
Nothing
going. Oh, dude, this guy, you need to go out with this guy.
Why?
He seems really nice because he listened to the whole thing and
he did.
He was trying to be considerate about your feelings and had picked up on an aspect of your personality already. I mean, I feel like you're not maybe you're just being so, negative because I matched you with him and that whole experience was very uncomfortable for you.
No, ultimately, I think I'm just being so negative about it because, like, yes, he was really nice and, like, he would probably be a great friend, but I think I'm just not very interested in dating anyone.
That's okay, but you could still go out with him just to see me because you're not interested in dating anyone until you date someone and realize, like, oh, you're actually interested, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Trexler, if you're still listening, first of all, thank you for still listening. Second of all, I'm sorry that I'm just like, it's not you. I swear to God, like, it's not a line. It's not you. It's literally me.
Well, that was just disappointing nonetheless.
Well, I'm so sorry. But those were my first impressions of some of the people and then conversations of some of the people that you asked.
Well, I know that you all were really waiting on Tetherhooks to find out how that all went down. And
I dated no one. I'm so sorry.
Boo. We're just going to have to try again. That's all that means.
Oh, dear.
Although I still think you should go out with Trexler, personally. Just to find out. Plus,
if you are on Team Trexler, send us a tweet with hashtag Team Trexler. Trexler.
If we get one tweet, you have to go out with him.
No.
We've gotten 0 tweets.
If we get 10 tweets with hashtag Team Hexler. 10 tweets.
10, it seems like a very unattainable high number.
That's really disappointing for our show.
Well, you're the one in charge of our Twitter, so...
That's true. If we get 10 tweets with hashtag Team Trexler, I will at least attempt.
You will at least attempt to reach out to him,
Trexler
even though he'll clearly realize that it's a ploy because of what you've already said tonight on our podcast.
I'm awful.
Who would go out with you after what you said tonight?
Literally no one, but I think that's how I want it.
Well, fine. I'm going to go ahead and segue right into a journal entry.
You're really terrible at segues.
I am awful at them. That's why I just say the word segue and it's like it happened.
And this is what's
and
happening
segue.
now.
Dear Evangel... November 3rd, 1997. So if you're not good at math, like me, that puts me at 13 years old. 13 and a half. John and Marty called me. We talked forever.
Oh.
He asked me if I loved John. What could I say? If I said yes, then he'd be like, huh? If I said no, then what would he think? He didn't call me back. He said he would, but maybe he did while I was walking with Carrie. Yes, I do have a life outside of John.
Really?
John was my first boyfriend. I guess I could have prefaced this by saying that's how this tied in. But we're getting to the end where I have another first.
Oh dear.
We have a 5-day weekend. Yippee, that is so cool because it means doing stuff for the first time in a while. Last year when we had a 5-day weekend, I got my period for the first time. Girl's little friend, my ass. Mary.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who refers to a period as girl's little friend?
I am not sure.
Where did you hear that?
13-year-old me.
Where you felt the need to write girl's little friend, my ass.
I will say that everything that I knew about my period before I got it, I learned from Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.
You are kidding me.
No, I'm serious. I believe.
No, I had a book called The Period Book that taught me all about the period.
No, we were Catholic. We didn't believe in that sort of openness about our bodies.
I had it, and I felt the need to hide it under my mattress because I was like
guilt.
so embarrassed by it.
Yeah, that's a very embarrassing book.
My mother bought it for me in public in Target.
I believed, before I got my period, I thought that it was called a period because it was one small dot of blood on your underwear in the shape of a period.
Oh.
Okay, so imagine my dismay when I got my first period on a 5-day weekend at the Smithsonian. And my entire, underwear and pants were covered in blood. And my mom taught me how to make a pad out of a toilet paper,
Oh.
Out of toilet paper,
My
where you
God.
wrap it and then you wrap it around the
Right.
Yeah. So that was what I thought, and then so expectations versus reality were tough, very tough. I did not realize that you would bleed for days, and that
The period book did.
Well, I didn't get the period book. I got sketchy sex ed. I had sex ed classes in 7th grade. I had already had my period for a year before I got my first sex ed class.
We had them in 5th grade.
We did not.
And I feel like that was it was shortly thereafter that I got the period.
We didn't get sex ed until we went to the public middle school at St. Wentz. They didn't do so they didn't do it until you went to the public school. Let the public school take care of that dirty business. And the Catholic school would have none of it.
I am so glad that I got out of Catholic school after 1st grade.
Oh no, Catholic school is totally not recommended from my point of view. I'm a Satanist now, so if that doesn't tell you how great Catholic school was, I don't think anything will.
But, jeez. Catholic school was rough. And I was only there for preschool to 1st grade.
So you don't even remember the struggle.
No, but see, I feel like I had an especially traumatizing Catholic school experience. Also, I did have a first at Catholic school. Other than, being to church for the first time, which was a first for me in Catholic school. So there's a first. I used to call the priest the church talker.
Oh.
Because I literally had never been to church in my life and did not know what they were called.
That is really funny.
So it was the guy who talked in the church.
Oh, so it's the church talker.
Right.
Okay, makes
But
sense.
I also remember my very first crush was at Catholic school. It was on a girl.
Oh, of course.
So
very appropriate for Catholic school.
That was confusing.
You were super welcome
as a child.
there. Yeah, right.
But it was So when I went into first grade, I had to go to a different Catholic school than where I was for preschool and kindergarten. So to welcome us, the new class, into the school, some of the current first graders, made us little welcome bracelets.
Isn't that kind?
It was very cute. And, in typical Catholic shame fashion, they let the current first graders come up and choose which of us new first graders they wanted to give their bracelet to.
Oh, well, that's great.
So that's
right
great.
Right away, being pick your favorite.
Exactly. And I had my eye on this girl. I like this girl very much. Very much. And I remember very clearly that she had made a braided bracelet of orange and cerulean.
Oh, beautiful.
Which
beautiful
are
color
complementary
choices.
colors,
Yeah.
and it was as beautiful as she. And I wanted so badly for her to choose me to give her bracelet. And she didn't. She chose to give it to a little boy, and I hated him.
First love and first heartbreak in one story.
I don't remember who ultimately gave me their bracelet.
It doesn't matter because it wasn't the pretty blonde girl.
And I never saw her again.
Oh, well.
But I still to this day remember her and her bracelet.
See, but if you here's the funny thing. If you ran into her on the street, you wouldn't even know.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, imagine that.
Because I don't even clearly remember her features or anything. I just remember that she was blonde. And at the time, I thought she was the prettiest girl I'd ever seen in my life.
Well, I'm
sorry, other than a princess.
Well, she was as pretty as a princess.
She could have been. She could have been God's princess.
Those are none.
Catholic school was rough, though.
Catholic school is horrible. I wouldn't recommend it.
My Catholic school, knew that I was a bad seed. I got blessed by a cardinal whilst there.
Oh, good.
Because they knew there was something
wrong with me.
There
was some evil inside you.
First of all, I had a crush on the little blonde girl.
Problems.
Right.
Problems right from the get-go.
Also, I wore ruffled socks to school once.
Vanity.
Which looked so cute with my jumper. We still have photos.
Yeah.
I should ask my dad for a photo. Dad, do we have a photo of me in my jumper and ruffled socks? Because I was so cute.
Well, probably not, because I remember this ruffled socks story, and it doesn't end well.
No,
you were
I
shamed.
got called to the principal's office and was told that my ruffled socks from Kmart showed my family's wealth. And I could not wear them there. And I was so sad. I also was not allowed to go to Muffin Day that week.
Well, and that clearly was the bigger travesty.
It was. So Catholic school was rough. I also thought of a story about my first kiss, which did not happen at Catholic school. To be fair, it wasn't actually my first kiss, but it's the first kiss that I count in my life.
Oh, sure, because, you get to decide
I do.
which ones count. And
I do.
Okay.
I decided.
All right, fine, I'll hear it. I'll entertain your story.
I also feel like it is
not
kind
first kiss.
It's the first kiss I count. The first counting kiss was my quote-unquote boyfriend at the time. I say quote-unquote because...
You were 7.
No, I was 14.
Oh,
14.
Twice as old as that.
Yes.
Okay, you were 14.
So I was 14. Or maybe 15.
You use the quotes because
he, until about a week before then, was dating a boy.
Ah.
And then told me that he liked me and thought that he should just date both of us because he liked both of us. And at this point, I was a very progressive 14/15-year-old.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, that sounds fine.
Oh, well, wow. I would have been
Okay.
very, very close-minded at 14. I was very, very monogamous.
I was very open to the whole polyamory scene
That
as
was
a
really
teenager.
interesting. Okay,
Yes.
so you said sure.
So I was like, fine, this is cool,
Great.
whatever.
Nice.
And we took French class together and choir. It was great. We also both really liked Degrassi, the TV show.
Sure.
He had it scrawled on his locker.
Oh, match made in heaven.
So
Clearly.
Right.
So what went wrong? I'm just,
well,
this was the first kiss story.
right.
Sir.
So the first kiss happened. He would walk me halfway to my history class every day. So, because the halfway point was his locker.
Oh,
had
well,
Degrassi
so
scrawled on it.
that was convenient. He
It
wouldn't
was.
walk you halfway to class.
No.
He would walk to his locker. And you were just allowed to
Shut
come
up
along.
in my mind.
Okay,
He
all right,
walked
well,
me
that's-
halfway to class.
Okay, all right. That's what he did.
Which happened to be his locker.
Right, just coincidentally.
And on
that
this
halfway
one
point.
day, after we had decided that he was dating both me and I can't remember the boy's name, but he decided that was the day that he would give me a kiss.
Oh.
And so he did. It was a little wet. But it
wet
happened.
In front of his locker.
Also, one of my history classmates happened to witness it. So then it became the talk of my history class because she didn't know I was dating anyone. And I'm like, it just happened. It was very dramatic.
It just happened.
And it lasted for about a week. Not the dating, not the kiss.
I was going to say, that's a long kiss outside the locker.
It was a long
You had
kiss.
other things you needed to do during that time, I bet.
Lasted about a week, and then he decided that, no, he was gay.
Well,
so he tried to be bi for a week.
That's a valiant effort, you know?
Yes.
He really liked you. He wanted to just go.
We still kissed several times after that, though.
Well, he just had to make sure. Clearly.
I still adore him very much. He's one of my now gay friends.
Well,
so.
I found out that the guy I had a massive crush on in high school was gay. It wasn't even that long ago either. He was only at the school for the first 2 years. He didn't come back as a junior, so my crush went unrequited, both when he was there.
Did he go to gay away camp?
I have no idea what happened to him, but he's very, very gay now.
Oh.
So I look him up on Facebook once in a while. We're not friends. It sounds really creepy. I promise it's not.
I hope he's listening.
He's not.
If you're listening, did you get sent to gay away camp?
He doesn't. We haven't even said his name yet. He doesn't even know who he is. He probably does.
If you went to Shattuck St. Mary's for 2 years and then didn't come back your junior year.
That's like so many people.
And you're now super gay. And you think
That's
Mary
still
might
so many
have had
people.
a crush on you.
Tweet us.
Please let us know if you didn't come back because you were sent to gay away camp.
I have a feeling that it wasn't that. His brother... Wait. I'm going to cut that because then there's more identifying information. But yeah, it was kind of traumatic when I finally looked him up and realized that the reason that... Well, I tell myself this because clearly he would have dated me had he been heterosexual. But he was clearly already struggling with his sexuality at that age. But, of course, couldn't come out at a horrible place like Shattuck.
No.
So I would not have recommended that to anyone. I wonder if there have been any out kids there ever. That kind of environment probably isn't very conducive to healthy relations. Like
probably not.
No. But, yeah, so...
We had lots of.
He wasn't my first. He wasn't my first crush or anything. But he was probably the biggest, so the longest lasting. I really liked him for like 2 years. But.
Oh.
And we were both like nerds. Like it seemed like a match made in heaven. It wasn't like a crush outside of my station or anything. It was very appropriate crush level, except for the fact that he was gay, I guess. But.
I had another crush in high school actually that did end up to be gay that I found out on Facebook.
Well, sometimes
but
that's
looking
just
back
the most
at it, I was
charismatic
like, oh,
guys.
Yeah.
Or the guys that. You know, I was into theater, so...
He was in theater.
Well, see?
And I remember...
That's very stereotypical.
I remember wondering a couple of times. But then I was like, no.
No, he's too cute.
Because he dated girls. And I was like, okay, by this point, like, if you're gay... Because we had so many gay kids at Burnsville. Like,
see,
at
that's
this
just
point,
so
if you're
funny.
gay, you should just be out.
We didn't have any that were out that I remember, anyway. Well, now that I think about it, there are a lot of boys in my class that I'm friends with now that are gay. They were just the nicest ones.
The nice ones are always the
nice
gay
ones.
ones.
Are always gay. It's true. That's very true.
Do you remember your first crush?
I had a crush on the same boy from like 3rd grade to 5th grade. And then in 6th grade, after I had finally gotten over him, he decided to like me back after that. So that was sort of frustrating because I had spent 2 years loving my unattainable lover, and then as soon as I got over him and became, the star of the school play, then all of a sudden he was, like, all about me. And, like, I remember he gave a clue to a mutual friend of ours, and she came to me and she said, I have this clue from him. And he said, if I can figure out this clue, I'll know who he has a crush on. And I was like, oh, what's the clue? And she's like, oh, it's really weird. It's just a number. It's, like, 512. And I was like, oh, that's my locker number. And she's like, oh my gosh, it's you! And I was like, oh my gosh, it's me. Why? I liked you for so long and you did not return the favor, and now...
Oh.
And now... I was very popular that last year. I'll never forget my first...
And then you were ripped away from your popularity.
That's true, and forced to live in a rural hell.
with a majestic as fuck state capital.
No. Well, yeah.
Listen to all of our previous episodes.
To understand that particular dig, listen to Majestic Hot Dish. I don't remember what number it was. Maybe it was 6.
I think it was 4, actually.
I do not have our roster.
I'm pretty sure it's
titled.
Actually episode 4, Majestic Hot Dish.
It's a pretty good one. They all are. I was going to briefly discuss my first job.
Your first job.
Because my first job was kind of unique. I don't think a lot of people had the opportunity to do this kind of job. I worked at a place called Cedar Lake Farm. It no longer exists, so I can talk about it all I want. I worked there, and they were a corporate event kind of place. And so they were on a lake, and they had like a beach, and they would serve these fancy meals made with this barbecue chicken. They had these big pits and racks they would do, and that was all part of the spiel. And they had all kinds of family-friendly activities. They had like a barn where you could go play with kittens, and they had a pony ring, and there were little chicks in the barn too, you could ride the ponies. Aww. You could go on bumper boats. They had a water wars, the water balloon fight station. Of course, there were food places, and the companies would do like, the corny like track and field type events. Like they would do the potato sack races and like the tug of war and like bean bag toss and stuff like that. And so it would always be just various different companies. But I worked there my first summer I could when I was 13. They always hired people that lived down the road because we lived right down the road from there. And it was awful, to put it mildly. It was like the worst possible way to make money. I preferred babysitting children where I had to change their poopy diapers. And if you know me, I don't like other people's children. OPC. No thanks.
When we get famous, never ask Mary to hold your baby.
No, I won't. I won't want to do it.
Won't.
I only like my own children, and that's it. No, I mean, legitimately, I really only like my own children. But I preferred babysitting to this because, and I really unfortunately didn't have a lot of families that preferred my babysitting over other services in the neighborhood that were available. There was a very zealous babysitter, only 2 years younger than me, a couple doors down, and she would bring her own activity box. And
what a bitch.
I know. She was the only time they would call me was when they like wanted me because they wanted to stay out really late or something. But I had to like run the pony ring and scoop the pony poop and tell people their kids were too fat to go on the ponies. And I did run into a couple situations where there were signs that said there's a weight limit and there's an age limit. But I ran into a couple times where I had to tell people, like, I'm not letting your kid that's not a kid, that's like the size of a small adult, get on my poor pony. Get over yourself. No. Do you see the sign? Like, point to the sign. It was very uncomfortable, especially, I was like 13, 14, 15 years old and I'm doing this job. Very uncomfortable. Oh. And, yeah. Also, they had a shaved ice machine.
Oh, dear.
Which was no fun because handling that sugar water in the summertime, there were bees everywhere, always.
If you've not heard the story of my wedding, Mary interrupted my wedding.
Discussed this already.
Because of a bee.
There was a bee. It was about to land on you, and I needed to tell you.
I didn't care. I was in the middle of getting married.
I was trying to stop you, as I've said now.
Okay, well, you should have done a better job.
Well, you know what? I interrupted your wedding. What more did you want?
The bee didn't scare me enough.
Well, I interrupted your wedding, so...
And now we've circled around to my first spouse.
Whiskey.
Good.
Oh, whiskey.
Lord. Oh, so many.
What can you even
mistakes.
say about him?
He's not gay and in Florida, Gary Spivey.
You're a liar, Gary.
Gary Spivey, the world's most gifted psychic. I'm a little disappointed in you. I was kind of hoping he was gay in Florida.
I would have really liked that as well, just as a bystander.
I would have been really just very entertained by that story. Who
knows? Gary could have been right also. All hail Gary.
All hail Gary Spivey. Amen.
My first spouse is still my spouse. So.
That is true.
He is my first one, though, so...
It's
true.
He's still a first.
Don't we have an email from your dad to read? We didn't read one last week.
We didn't read one last week because he hated the Harry Potter episode.
Oh, that's right.
So we didn't read it because it was not fan mail, it was hate mail.
Oh, he didn't send one in on your Tinder.
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
He did send one in. His response was, I was very nervous listening this week. I was ready to turn off at a moment's notice during the Tinder part. Other than that, nice job, kids.
That's it?
Yes.
That's all?
He was very nervous about hearing about my possible love connections.
Well, I can't believe.
That yielded nothing.
It yielded Trexler, and you just won't admit it.
Okay. Hashtag Team Trexler if you are Team Trexler.
Do it. You are, because it would make for a really great next episode, and you, as our devoted listener who's reached nearly the end of this horrible episode, clearly care a lot about our success to listen this far.
And I found a lot of the girls at work have been telling me things that they want us to talk about because some of them actually listen.
Oh, dear.
And I was like, great, then you need to freaking email us.
Because we will take suggestions.
Yes, we will take suggestions. If you have things that you really want to hear us do, if you have a bit idea, if you have a topic you want us to talk about, if you just want to give us, feedback on what we have talked about,
or on
ask
life,
questions,
or
if you
request
want
a
advice,
specific journal entry.
They can't request a specific journal entry. They don't know what's in your journal.
A lot of crap is what's in my journal.
Request a specific journal date.
Sure,
maybe,
and we'll do the best we can to.
One. Or if you want advice from Mary, Mary gives advice.
I do give advice, and I'm really good at it. Kinda.
I mean, I don't know if
that's
selling yourself.
I said good, really good at it. Kinda. I put kinda in.
That's emphasis on the kinda.
Kinda, really good.
Kinda. You can ask us questions. You can do any of those things, or send us funny pictures. I don't even care. To louderthaneverpodcast@gmail.com.
Yay.
Also, you can tweet us and find us on Instagram at LTE Podcast. Mary's going to Instagram her leggings, as she does for every episode.
And these ones are my first pattern of LuLaRoe, but not actually the first pair that I ever owned.
That's okay. Still a first.
Yes, they're gorgeous.
Find us on Instagram so you can see those.
Perfect.
We'll find lots of things. It'll be fine. Also, if you are on Team Trexler, make sure you tweet us with hashtag Team Trexler.
Hashtag Team Trexler. I'm getting on Twitter just to do one tweet.
Okay, Mary's going to get on Twitter.
I'm going to get on, so we really only need 9 people.
So yeah, make sure that you're following us. We're going to go to the Mall of America tomorrow, so follow us for some stuff that I'll surely post while we're there.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
It's going to be really fun.
We'll be back next week, hopefully with some better ideas, thanks to your submissions.
Right? Tell us what you want to do, and we'll be really good at it. We're just off our game because I'm tired.
We're so sleepy.
It's been kind of a rush.
We're so sleepy.
I've been watching all the Olympics.
Ugh.
And, they play until, midnight and later, and it's just, everything I want to watch is on the wedding camp.
I'm just over it. I'm over the Olympics. I'm over recording this episode. I'm too sleepy.
Ditto.
So thank you so much for sitting through all of this. If you did sit through all of this, also tweet us hashtag regret.
Just
because that's probably what you're feeling so
right
far.
About now.
All right, thank you again. We'll talk to you next week.
Damn it ran away!
Bye-bye.
The Albert ran away! I caught it and then it ran away! God, I hate Pokemon. Oh my god. Damn it. I am just so irritated right now. I could just... Ugh. I hate it when that happens. I gave it a raspberry and everything. And it ran away.
Oh.
God, what a dick.
Okay, bye.
Oh, God, bye. Shit, I thought you already turned it off.
Nope.
Oh, man. I'm going to sound like a real crazy person.
Yup.